Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Johnny Bottles. Welcome to the Squared Circle Maniacs Pro Wrestling Podcast. To my left is Don Wayne, and I wish we were doing this show under better circumstances.
Yeah, it's hard to process as a wrestling fan what's going on. We lost an icon. It's the only way to put it. And I'm not here to talk about Hulk Hogan's indifferences as a person. I'm here to talk about him as a wrestler and what he meant to me as a kid and a young man as a fan. So if you're here to trash him, take it somewhere else. I've seen enough of it today. That's not what I'm here. When someone passes, you're here to remember the good times. And what he did as an entertainer far outweighs anything he ever did evil. And I'm not saying he was a perfect person. But what I am saying is he meant a lot more to me than just another guy in this business. Bottles, I'll ask you this, right? No matter how you phrase this, I'll ask you. Your Mount Rushmore of wrestling, right? So there's like two different factions that you go with this. It's all-time Mount Rushmore of wrestling or just WWE Mount Rushmore of wrestling. There's two names that are going to pop up on Mount Rushmore if it's WWE or all-time. One of them is Ric Flair. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
The other one is
Ric
going
Flair,
to be
definitely.
Hulk Hogan.
Yes.
Block Larry with a 10 spot. Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. Hulkamania will run wild forever. Yes, it will, brother. Yes, it will. I told the wife, we ain't got any plans Saturday, so get ready. I'm going to be watching Hulk Hogan matches for a long time this weekend. Really sad. You were looking into some of his history for his medical issues that he's had recently. We've talked about it, as a matter of fact, just 2 weeks ago. I mean, if you remember that, right? We talked about this.
We did.
We went into in-depth on this.
It all started with the rumors that were being floated around by his ex-friend, Bubba the Love Sponge, Clem, a Florida-based DJ. He's been nationally syndicated, things like that of that nature. I don't know what he's doing now. I don't know if he's still in the radio business. He's probably retired, as far as I know. He had it was the infamous sex tape. He was the impetus behind the infamous sex tape, which I don't want to talk about. And I guess that was the beginning of the downward spiral in the public eye of Hulk Hogan. But anyway, let's not talk about that right now. Bubba the Love Sponge says he knows people. They travel in the same circles, and he knows people that know Hulk Hogan, and he was on his deathbed. It's not good, blah, blah, blah. The ticker's bad. He can't talk, he can't speak, which has been debunked because I've got one of his last interviews a few days before he passed away. And it was posted to TikTok, and he's talking fine. He was all fired up about Real American Freestyle Wrestling. They just signed a deal with Fox Nation. He's going to be the commissioner of the show. He's partners in it with Eric Bischoff and some other catch wrestling aficionado, catch wrestling teacher. That guy's name escapes me right now. But anyway, there was big things that were coming for Hulk Hogan. Right. Big things. Real American beer. He was even thinking about buying
selling well from what I hear.
It's selling well. It's not a bad product.
I see you, pal. I promise we're going to get to you. I see your comments, pal. I promise we'll get to you. I promise.
He didn't look like a man on his deathbed. He looked like he lost some weight. This is after his neck surgery. He looked like he lost a little weight. He had the infamous Hollywood Hogan dye job on his beard. And he had a twinkle in his eye. His eyes were red, but he had a twinkle in his eye. So I'm not sure if things were not good for him with his blood pressure or things of that nature. I know the surgery that he had on his neck, Don, Edge had it. Stone Cold Steve Austin infamously had it, where they go in through the front of your neck. Your father had it. And they go in through the center of your neck. And I know he had problems with
if I could talk about this real quick. This is not a fun surgery, and it takes a year to heal from. Like, it is hell. I watched my father go through this. He was in hell for a year coming back. I mean, they gotta be real careful about your vocal cords in there. They've got to be real careful about how they move around in there. It can go very wrong very fast. And I've seen what my father went through. And by the way, Hogan had so many surgeries late in life, man. So many back fusions, so many surgeries. It's kind of funny because he said, it looks so simple, the leg drop, right? He said it looked like such a simple move, but he said he wished he'd have come up with something else that wasn't so hellacious on his back. He said he wished he'd have just done the full Nelson and put you out with a full Nelson. He was like, I could do that on anybody. What? I should have done that.
Think about all those wrestling dates, all those matches he's had all around the world every day of the week, and sometimes twice on a Saturday. And his finisher was always a leg drop. He's just compressing his spine with every leg drop he does. This is what they do. They go in from this diagram. You can see they go in, and the Hawks was slow. So they had to go in and through his vocal cords, his wife said. They had to go through his vocal cords to get to the discs that were bad. And I'm going to take this thing down. And it's not a fun surgery. It's not a pleasant surgery. No. And he couldn't breathe for a while. He had to be on a tube going down his throat to keep his airway open because of such trauma to his trachea and his larynx. Couldn't talk for a couple of days. But this video I've watched today, and I've done a little research on his final days, and he wasn't on his deathbed, and he was talking fine just a few days before he passed. So
it's really just when it's your time, man. It's your time. Juan, thank you very much. Rest in peace, Hulk Hogan. You can't think what he did for wrestling. He helped bring it mainstream and was integral in part of the boom in the 80s and 90s. Love him or hate him, wrestling would not be the same today without him. And you're right. And that's sort of where we're going with this whole thing is Vince McMahon was going to try to take over the world, right? But if he didn't have the right star to push that engine, I don't think here's my question. Do you even think we have wrestling on television today as a mainstay piece of television operation? Because I don't. I really don't think.
Oh, no. No.
Vince McMahon was a very smart guy, but shit, he almost went bankrupt in the late 90s. Like, that's how tedious this was during that whole run. So I agree, Juan. It would not be the same. We might not even have it on television today.
Oh, you would have it on television, but it would be syndicated. It would be syndicated. It would be on individual markets. You know what I mean? Like the NWA used to be. Right. It would be like the NWA in the South.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold that thought.
Yes.
Because think about this now. Think about what you just said. There is nothing on your television anymore that's locally syndicated. Nothing. There used to be all kinds of shows that were locally syndicated.
Oh, yes.
You don't have any anymore. I don't think we have wrestling like we do now. I don't think we have it at all, to be quite frank. I think it goes bankrupt, and it's on some sort of a specialized pay-per-view only buy once a month or something like that. That's just my opinion.
There's one syndicated show that is it makes me laugh when I think about it. The TV show Svengoolie, the horror host that's on Saturday nights. That's a local program in Chicago, and it's only on certain cable channels, and it's only
right. But you've even got to pay.
Providers.
You've got to pay for that, don't you? Don't you have to pay for that yourself out of pocket?
You could.
That's what I'm saying.
There's a streaming service called Friendly TV that offers that $7.99 a month for Svengoolie and other oldies programming like MeTV and Laugh TV, and you get the idea what I'm talking about here. But there was what we would be watching now, it would be regional syndicated wrestling in certain markets up and down the coast, in the Midwest, on the Western Seaboard, Eastern Seaboard, down in the South by the Gulfs. Everybody would be doing their thing. And if he didn't have Hulk Hogan, didn't have the charisma, didn't have Hulk Hogan, who would he get to be the face of the WWF?
I don't know, but
at the time.
Hold that thought real quick.
Who was out there?
Warrior JWR.
Warrior JWR.
Crazy Week.
$199.
Ozzy Hogan, buff leg amputation, and Malcolm Jamal Warner, don't forget. It's been a rough week, man. It's been a real rough week.
You know how it all started? 1950s female singing star Connie Francis. Then we had Malcolm Jamal Warner. Then we had Ozzy Osbourne. And then we had a lot of people don't know who this guy is, but he was the lead guitarist and chief songwriter and producer for Golden Earring. Remember Radar Love?
Yeah.
Twilight Zone.
No, I saw that too.
George Kunimans was his name, and he passed away just like 2 days ago. And now we've got Hulk Hogan and Chuck Mangione. 6 people all in a week's time.
Just crazy.
And,
Flamethrower says, I've been in Tampa for 40 plus years and bumped into him several times. He was always very friendly to my sons every time that he saw them. That's awesome, man. I saw Hogan wrestle live twice, and it was life-changing. Again, I've talked about this before. I don't care. I'll talk about it again. The first time I saw him was in that big lead-up with Paul Orndorff and that huge summer tour that they did that fell into the fall. There were 14,000 people there to see this match. I cannot again emphasize how big of an angle that was with him and Paul Orndorff. It was huge. They sold 65,000 tickets in Ontario, Canada for a match in the middle of the summer outside that wasn't even pay-per-view. That's crazy work, Bottles.
Unbelievable. He was I guess you could classify him as a rock star of professional wrestling.
Yeah.
He really was.
Thank you again, Warrior and Flamethrower. I really appreciate it, Fluff. Really appreciate you guys. There's so much to unpack here, and I don't know how else to say it. It's just unless you lived during this era, you have no idea how big Hogan was. He was on Saturday Night Live. This never happened. Wrestlers didn't go on Saturday Night Live. He was doing commercials. Wrestlers didn't do commercials. He was on television shows sometimes. He was in movies. Wrestlers were barely in movies. They were just now starting to break in. Like, it's crazy work, man.
He was a wrestler who was a star, the lead actor, the lead star in many a movie. What was that?
The Nanny was one. Urban Commando or something?
I'm talking about
Suburban
where he played Rip Roarum.
Oh,
and what was that called?
No Holds Barred.
No Holds Barred was the first one he was in. Vince produced it. I don't know where they got the script from.
Well, that was the first one he started. That's the first one he started, because don't forget, he was in Gremlins 2. People
I'm talking about
that.
being the lead actor. He was the lead actor in No Holds Barred. And his big villain was Zeus, if you remember Zeus, played by Tiny Lister, the actor, who went on to be in several action movies and horror movies and things of that nature. He was even in Fridays. Tiny Lister was in Fridays. Remember that?
Yes.
Ice-T, and not Ice-T, Ice Cube, and Chris Tucker and all that. Yes.
Juan's got something for you.
Would love to know what your favorite Hogan moment is. Mine has to be when he turned heel and formed the NWO. Definitely put gas in WCW's tank and definitely forced WWE to start changing his product. I've got an off-the-wall favorite Hogan moment.
Okay. I like
when
that.
The Hart Foundation, when the Hart Foundation and the Honky Tonk Man and Jimmy Hart had Randy the Macho Man Savage tied up in the ropes, and Elizabeth got thrown to the mat. And she didn't know what else to do. She ran to the back and grabbed the first person she could get her hands on, and that was Savage's arch nemesis, Hulk Hogan. And there was no music playing, no Real American, none of that. She was pulling Hogan out and pointing to the ring, and he's like, "Well, what's going on out here? Like, what's going on? We don't have monitors backstage. I don't see any of this. What's going on out here?" And he saw it. And he realized that they were going to whack him with, do the old El Kabong thing with the guitar. And he came to the ring and fought those guys off and freed Savage. And I do believe, if memory serves me correctly, they shook hands afterwards, or they did that on a later show the following week.
That was when they did it backstage afterwards, where he was like, "I don't know what's going to happen, brother, if we shake hands."
Right. And Elizabeth was the glue that held the whole thing together. And unfortunately, at the very end of the angle, she was the wedge that was driven between them. It was just a master class of wrestling booking. I don't know who put that together. Probably Vincent Patterson put that together, but it was a master class of wrestling booking. 2 huge superstars at the time. And it just fantastic. My second favorite moment with Hogan had to be the Goldberg match.
Yeah. 40-something thousand people in Atlanta on a Monday night out of nowhere.
Unbelievable crowd. And they did so much with so little.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
so much
Goldberg
with so little.
Was limited as shit.
No flippy flying through the air. No 15, 16 Canadian destroyers. Not jumping through 4 tables. Not swinging steel chairs around like they're goddamn tennis rackets. They did so much. They got so much. Hogan could get a reaction just looking at the crowd a certain way.
And they did that for about the first minute and a half.
Yes. And the last thing I got to say about my favorite Hogan moments were The Rock versus Hogan.
Okay. I think that's on everybody's top 3. It's got to be, right? Like Hogan versus Rock's got to be in your top 3. For me, specifically, I'll give you my other 2 because I think The Rock and Hogan is my third. My first, without a shadow of a doubt, Saturday night's main event, or maybe it was just a main event, but it was on at night. Hulk Hogan superplexing Big Boss Man off the top of the cage broke my child mind. My brain exploded when I saw it. You've got 2 300+ pound men crashing down into the middle. Bubba to take that damn bump, number 1, was insane. That's crazy work. Like, he took it like a champ. That blew my mind.
The Boss Man, what they said, was a very, very durable superstar. He could take a lot of punishment. And you know what we're forgetting? You know what we're forgetting?
Hold on, let me tell you my second one.
Go ahead.
Oh, slamming Andre. When he slammed Andre, it's the slam heard round the world. You knew it happened. It was everywhere. And I'm glad we brought this up because that propelled WWF into superstardom. The first WrestleMania went well. The second one kind of fell flat. The third one was a raging success. And every barometer.
He picked up that big 800-pound stinky giant and body slammed it to the canvas in front of 800,000 people.
93,000.
The numbers always changed. Every time he told
They said 93,000. I don't give a shit what Dave Meltzer says. I'm sticking to it. That's what I'm going with. But those were my top 3. The other thing that always sticks out to me was the feud he had with Andre the Giant, right? Because that feud started in like February of 87. You realize that they had 4 matches on TV or pay-per-view? They had that. They had Saturday night's main event the following year when they had their first rematch in front of 33 million people at home. Let that number sink in. People argue all the time right now. On a Saturday night, people argue.
Around midnight, after midnight.
No, this one came on at 8. This is when it came on at 8.
Okay. Prime time. Okay, gotcha.
But again, let this sink in. Fans today are ecstatic that 2.5 million people watch. There were 33 million people watching this Saturday night's main event. Then they had a rematch, their third match at WrestleMania 4, and had their final match at the, I think it was either the initial or the second Survivor Series. And that was the last time they would square off in the ring because Andre was not long for the company after that.
He wasn't really mobile after all that. He was
Thank you again, Juan.
Bad shape. Mark K with a 10 spot. Hawk was the master of compelling storytelling. Examples: when King Kong Bundy crushed his ribs in '86. Yeah, I forgot about that. And when Andre ripped the cross off of Hogan in '87 and 19, that's when the whole feud started with Andre and Hogan. And the 1996 heel turn. Rest in peace to master storyteller. And he was too. If you watch that Rock match, Hogan was supposed to be the heel.
They flipped the script. The script.
He was whispering to The Rock the whole time, unbeknownst to the fans, what to do. And The Rock was the heel, and Hogan was the face.
Right. Yes. And it's if you've never seen The Rock Hogan, you need to check it out. It's master storytelling. By the way, thank you all for joining us right now. We really appreciate it. I wasn't sure how I was going to do with this. Honest to God, I've been in my feelings all day like a little bitch because it really does hurt deep. We lose Ozzy, we lose Malcolm, then I lose Hogan. It's just been a terrible week for Gen X right now. We're losing all of our childhood heroes. It's crazy to me. But having said that, this is helping a lot.
Somebody give Ric Flair a call, see if he's okay.
Dude, he ain't doing too well either.
You see that scar on his head?
Yeah.
Oh, he looked like the Frankenstein monster. They don't know what happened, folks. They cut skin cancer, even more so, out of Ric Flair's head. He's got a scar going down above his I don't know what eye. It could have been a reverse picture. He's got like a 5-inch scar on his forehead going down to his eye.
And Marcus talk about storytelling. I'm looking at Larry. I see you, pal. It's great storytelling. Paul Orndorff calling Hulk Hogan. He's too busy to talk. He's working out right now. Little things like that build that story so magnificently. By the way, I just finished Andre the Giant's book. I think I talked about it last week. Andre was as big a part of getting Hulkamania running as anything, because Andre, it's hard to tell the story. You can't tell the story of WWE without Andre the Giant. Right. No one will ever understand how big he was in the 70s and early 80s. No one will. People paid hard money to go see that guy, just to see him. Like, I got to see this big bastard get in the ring.
People would say, oh, he wasn't 7 feet tall. He was only 6'10". But the proportions of his body
were insane.
Insane. His skull was twice the size of a normal man's head. His shoulders were twice the size of a normal man's shoulders. His hands were just amazing. And we're forgetting another guy who was a crucial component in the career of Hulk Hogan and the debut of Hulkamania, the Iron Sheik.
Iron Sheik, baby. Yes. Also,
the Iron Sheik. Yes.
Put him over, said, you're going to win the title in 84, and then in 85 they had the first WrestleMania. 86 was the second one. 87 it was off and running, which, by the way, still one of the greatest WrestleManias you can ever see. They didn't have 25-minute matches 500 times. It was, here we go, get it a bunch of matches, have fun.
Hulk Hogan say, Sheiky baby, I love you. I love you. Oh, Sheiky baby, I love you. How about giving me some money?
Sorry, yes, 83 won the title. Sorry.
Yes. The Iron Sheik was a little bitter about the Hulkamania thing, but every time he saw
for
Hulk,
a while, yeah.
Oh, my brother, I love you. I love you.
And the other part about that, though, is
yes,
the Andre the Giant storyline. He was supposed to rip the shirt off. The cross was a happy accident, and where it drew blood, like none of that was supposed to happen. But his hands are so damn big when he grabbed it, it was just everything came off, and that's when Roddy Piper touches him and goes, "You're bleeding." It was just, again, storytelling. People knew how to work with them. Yes,
the little things. And these guys, they didn't have to memorize scripts. They had bullet points, and they used their own charisma and their own verbiage to get things over. Great stuff.
Thank you again, Mark. We appreciate it, brother.
Great stuff.
There's a couple other little news and nuggets I want to hit you with Hulk Hogan. That's kind of crazy. Hulk Hogan wrestled in 11 WrestleManias. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that. I don't know the stats.
He won 8 WrestleMania matches in those 11. He wrestled in WrestleMania 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 18, and 19. The one in Vegas was that WrestleMania 7 or 6?
I think I might be 7.
Might be 8.
Was that Trump Plaza?
That was 4, and that was 4 for sure.
Was it 4 and
9? And it might have been 5 too. I think it was 4 and 5.
4 and 5? Okay. I
think it was 4 and 5.
There. Okay.
I'm trying to remember. It was WrestleMania 9 was in Vegas. Okay, there we go. Thank you, boys. I appreciate you guys. It all runs together sometimes. But WrestleMania 9 is what started the WWF on this push to get to bigger venues and to push to get it outside and to get it to where they could fill stadiums. This was a whole new venture into whatever. This also happened to be the last time he wrestled for the heavyweight championship at WrestleMania. And, people always say Hulk Hogan couldn't work, and this always drives me crazy.
Right.
Watch that Ultimate Warrior match, and you tell me who's calling the shots in that and who's carrying who in that match.
Exactly.
I mean, you watch that shit.
They're few and far between, but try to find some clips of him in Japan. He
was
actually a good technical wrestler in Japan, and his finisher was the axe bomber clothesline, not the leg drop. He realized, even said in interviews, he realized when he went to Japan, he actually had to work because work rate is a big thing in Japan. You got to have the wrestling skill. That's what gets you over in Japan. So he said, if I want to get over in Japan, I'm going to show him what I can do. Famously, when he started out in wrestling, he was trained by Hiro Matsuda in Japan. He flew to Japan to get trained, and Hiro Matsuda didn't think he was serious, and he broke his leg. Remember that story?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
4 months later, when the leg healed up, he showed back up again. Let's go.
Well, there's all kinds of stories if it was broken versus sprained or whatever it was. Nobody really knows. I mean, it is a carny business. Who the hell knows, right?
Of course.
But when I look, the whole point of this is you can't tell the history of professional wrestling and not tell the story of Hulk Hogan. The guy, look, I'm wearing it. He came back as Hollywood when the yellow and red was getting worn thin and people were getting tired of it. He said, okay, let me change it up. And he was nervous about being a heel. He said in previous interviews, he asked Vince to turn heel at WrestleMania 6 and turn on the Ultimate Warrior. And he said no. And if you think about it, God, how good of an idea would that have been back then? That might have given him another 5 years in WWE. They could have gone on another huge run. Can you imagine an evil Hogan back then?
Yeah, but the Warrior was a little bit of a flake. Vince couldn't
you think?
Couldn't put all his eggs in that basket, pal. He had to have a backup.
I know.
He had to have Hogan as a backup.
And again, I know, look, we've talked about this before. Like some of his stories are out there later in life. I'm not so sure he didn't have too many chair shots and he just didn't misremember shit sometimes, to be quite honest. I'm dead ass serious.
Being the bass player for Metallica, that was a little bit of a stretch.
Well, the joke I heard today was Ozzy Osbourne said, he went up to God and said, "Oi, I need a bass player for my band up here." And God said, "Say no more."
Boom. He's right up there.
The
man could play the bass, though.
He looked like a freak with it, though.
Right. Those big
the other joke, the other dark humor moment I got today was, again, little things that made me laugh was, well, you knew Osborne wasn't going to get a full 48 hours to get bereaved. Hogan wasn't letting that get over, brother. That would make me laugh too, man. So
then I heard the other one. He's going to be cremated because he said nobody's going to bury Hulk Hogan.
Yes, I saw that one too. So there was times for laughs today, and I was glad to see that. But it's just,
let's take a look. Would you like to take a look at him a couple days before?
Yeah, if you got a good picture of him.
Yeah. Let me put it up.
I said good. I don't want to see something.
Let me pause it.
Which, by the way, I saw I don't know if you guys saw this that I put out on Twitter, but it was a Paul Orndorff interview years ago where they asked him what it was like working with Hulk Hogan. And you know what he said?
What he said?
I love working with Hulk Hogan. I love that guy. Terry's a great guy. We made lots of money together. He was always super good with me. The part that always gets me with the Hulk Hogan thing is the guys that wanted to be on top and thought they should have been the main guy, they were always the guys that had an issue with Hogan, right? Always. Those were the guys, always. Big Boss Man, loved working with him. Ultimate Warrior, loved working with him. Macho Man, they had a love-hate relationship, but that was mainly because of personal issues. Ric Flair was crying about him. He loved working with him.
He was, yeah. Okay, here's his last, I guess you could say this is the last recorded interview.
Brother, good to see you.
Man, I need to take a nap, bro. I need to take a nap. I am worn out from L.A. to New York City. You still treat me like I'm the champ here, brother. I am totally worn out.
Well, you got a lot going on. There's Flow Wrestling, you got the beer.
Yeah, the audio's all the way up on this, so it's a TikTok cell phone thing. It's not that good, but
where did this guy catch him at?
He's pushing the Real American Beer.
That's obviously crushing. People are going. I saw the lines when you're doing like the promo runs. The fans came out to support the beer. The launch was great. And then obviously this Flow Wrestling. I think a lot of people are excited for this. I mean, you bring sports.
Well, it's Real American Freestyle, brother.
Yes.
You got to get correct or you might get stretched.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
That is. But,
never working.
Is there going to be gimmicks with this wrestling?
No, there's not, bro. You know, we're giving these amateur wrestlers, the NCAA champions, the gold medalists, all these elite athletes that have done this their whole life.
Sure.
We're giving them an opportunity to continue on with their dream, basically, because now we can pay these athletes, you know, so that's why we're calling it Real American Freestyle, but it's Real American Professional Freestyle. So Hulk Hogan would say, "Welcome to the black and blue of professional freestyle wrestling, brother." Yeah. But the thing is, we're attracting all kind of athletes. We've signed a whole bunch of people, which I can't say yet.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, our first event is August 3rd.
He looks like he's lost a little weight.
And it's
he's lost quite a bit of weight, it looks like.
Yeah, that's it for that.
That's fine.
It turns out he was going to be the commissioner of Real American Freestyle Wrestling. And Fox Nation has announced today, after his death, that show's still going to go in the air on Fox Nation. They're moving forward with it, and they're excited about it. And they'll probably get another celebrity to come in, another retired wrestler to come in and be the commissioner.
You cannot. And by the way, this news, when he passed away, again, God bless your soul, Hulk Hogan. It was on every news outlet in the country. It was on ESPN's ticker. It was on Fox. It was on CNN. It was on MSNBC. That's how you know you were bigger than life, when every news outlet covers you across the country and across the world. Everyone announced that he had passed away. It was shocking. I don't know that I'm still over it yet, quite frankly. I'm kind of numb. And he was literally my childhood as a wrestling fan. He was everything I ever wanted to be. God bless you, Hulk Hogan. Love you, man. Never got to meet you in person, but you sure as hell had an impact on millions of people.
He was lauded on many news outlets today as a pop culture icon, which he was.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a stretch for when he started until the end, when he was the most recognized sports figure in American history. Everyone knew Hulk Hogan. Everyone knew him. Everyone recognized him.
1989, yeah, he probably was the most recognizable athlete in the country at that point in time. He probably really was. Just, what are you going to do, Pill?
I saw this. I dug this up. Have you seen the kid cutting a promo on Hulk Hogan in one of
I've seen it. I've seen it. Yeah.
It's great,
It was
man.
cute. It's a cute moment. It
is.
just goes to show you that even all these years later, kids still recognize what he meant. Charlotte Flair had a really touching tribute to him today. Said when Rick was in the hospital, sick.
I'll read it to you right now. I got it pulled up.
Sure.
When I nearly lost my dad 8 years ago, one of the few people who was there for all of it was Hulk Hogan. My heart breaks for Nick and Brooke. Rest in peace, brother. That's what she said. He prayed over a comatose Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Like 4 or 5 nights in a row, he came there to pray over top of Ric Flair. And a year ago, he was baptized in the Catholic Church.
Yes, he was a born-again Christian. So
born again.
Hey,
Christian.
Denisha, I see you. Thank you very much for being here. We appreciate your support.
Kurt Angle has come out and said, rest in peace, Hulkster. Thank you for opening up doors for so many people in the business, including myself. There would not be a Kurt Angle without the American-made Hulk Hogan. My heart and prayers go out to his family. We lost a real icon today.
By the way,
yes,
that's the first wrestler's theme song that I remember knowing by heart as soon as it hit. When I heard that guitar riff hit, I knew every word to every chorus coming up. I knew how it was going to go down, man. I could spit it word for word forever.
And within this past year, we lost the man who sang and wrote that and recorded it, Rick Derringer.
Yep. It's one of those things. We're getting old, and your heroes are going to go by the wayside, and it's hard to put into words sometimes, but I don't want to. I've said all I really think I can say about Hulk Hogan. I love the guy. He meant the world to me as a wrestling fan. There's nothing. I watched WCW in the mid-90s when it was god-awful because Hulk Hogan was there. There was no other reason to watch that show. It was terrible. But I watched it because Hulk Hogan was on. By the way, in that time frame, WWF was just as bad. Nothing was changing. It was terrible. You had hockey gimmicks, for God's sakes, and plumbers in the WWF. I also saw a very touching – I mean, you did. I also saw a very touching tribute from Sting today. Sting put out a really touching tribute. I thought it said a lot, man. It said a lot when Sting put it out there.
Hulk Hogan, the greatest of all. Can't thank you enough for all that you did for me and for wrestling fans all over the world. I loved you, and I will miss you. My friend Terry Bollea, rest in peace.
That's a lot, man.
Jake the Snake even came out and said something.
Did he?
It's hard to put into words what Terry Hulk Hogan Bollea meant to professional wrestling and entertainment. He may be gone, but his memory and legacy will live forever. Rest in peace, Hulkster. Mark Mara, Brutus Beefcake.
Oh, I bet he's tore up, buddy.
Because they've never patched
They never
things
reconciled.
Up. And he says, Through the good times and the bad, I always loved my brother Terry. I'm devastated by the loss of my friend. I only wish we had time to mend our broken friendship before his passing. Until I see you, brother, in the big squared circle in the sky, I love you. Hulk Hogan, rest in peace. And that was accompanied by 4 personal pictures of him and Hogan over the years. Right. And it's a damn shame, actually. I mean, those guys were tight. They were like real brothers.
Yeah,
they were
for
very, very
20
tight.
years. I mean, for 20 years, man, they were thick as thieves. And then just nobody knows what happened except Hogan and Brutus. And I don't think we'll ever find out. By the way, I did see some funny comments today. You know, if God is a wrestling fan, does he have Macho Man waiting at the pearly gates to sucker punch him and reignite the feud? I saw some stuff like that. Like there were some comments today that generally made me laugh. Like, man, you know, thank God the internet's got some sense of humor, because some of those folks were dark, and I'm not going to talk about them. But
all the assholes come out.
Yeah, it's pathetic. Like, do something with your life. Again, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. Hit that notifications button. The super chat is open. We are talking a little bit more about Hulk Hogan. He changed the business. There's no way around it. He changed everything about wrestling.
Right.
The pomp and circumstance is what he really brought to the environment with all that charisma. All that charisma he brought. If you don't have charisma today, you're probably on AEW.
Could very well be. I'm waiting for the AEW tribute to Hulk Hogan. I'm waiting for that.
Yeah, you're going to be waiting a long time on that.
A long time for that. In fact, Tony Khan's never mentioned anything about it today. Don't you find that suspect?
He's probably better off not saying anything.
He probably is. He probably is. It's a shame that Hulk Hogan's last appearance for the WWE,
he got booed.
Booed out of the building on his last appearance, which was just horrible. But I can understand how some people would boo the man.
I get it. Like, you know, we said at the time, it was like, dude, it's time to step out of the limelight, enjoy retirement. Like, you've had a really long run in this business. Like, go sell your beer. Like, go do you. Go do special appearances, man. People will still pay good money to see you.
Well, at least over the last year, he got right with the Lord. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes.
Baptized, the whole 9 yards. His wife was a Christian woman, and he became a Christian. And hey, what can you say?
God bless.
God bless.
That's all we can say. God bless him. Hogan, you meant everything to everybody that was a wrestling fan. If you lived through the 80s and 90s, you completely get it. Because if there was one thing, when you saw that Saturday night's main event was coming on and it was going to feature Hogan, that was it, pal. You knew what you were tuned into that night. Mom, can we get some pizza tonight, please?
Yes.
Get me some pizza and some Mountain Dew. I got an all-night bender coming on. Get the VCR record ready. Which one of these blank tapes can I use? We're not watching Smokey and the Bandit 3. Put that bitch in there.
Bring me 2 pounds of Cheetos, stat, and some Mountain Dew. Put it in my veins.
Not quite that far. But I did record over Smokey and the Bandit 3. Nobody was watching that trash anyway.
God. Smokey and the Bandit 3. You wipe your ass on that movie.
I'm telling you.
Good Lord Almighty.
So we're going to close the book on Hulk Hogan. Like I said, God bless. Let's talk about some other wrestling that's going on. NXT, all I keep hearing about is NXT is horrible. It's not good. It's bad. Okay, hold on. Larry gave $10 earlier. He taped over his second birthday
party.
Oh, shit, that's good.
Yo.
But NXT, bottles.
Yes, 747,000 people tuned into NXT this past Tuesday night.
Who's this Mariah May girl? What's her name?
Blake Monroe.
I heard she wasn't getting over.
That's what
they were wasting her time.
Right. Blake Monroe. She's nobody. In fact, she goes by a different name, Monica Monroe. If you listen to Booker T.
Okay. Oh, it's
tonight we got. Let me take that off of that. Tonight we got Monica Monroe's going to be here. Everybody's going.
That's wild.
What?
Who the hell?
Who?
Dude, that's wild. That's what they did. 747,000 people on a Tuesday night. She's a draw. Newsflash.
No,
she's
hang
a
on a
draw.
second. Hang on a second. It was already announced that The Undertaker was going to be there.
Yeah, I get
to
that.
confront Trick Williams.
I get that.
And Trick Williams
I'm
had
not
to
saying
he had to put over a 60-year-old man choke slamming him, who's got a bad ticker.
You know what though? It sold. People
Yeah.
tuned in. I
People
had
tuned
no
in for
idea
it.
he was going to be on. I didn't even know he was going to be on.
Well,
and I
was
don't
that-
care.
It was that, and it was also billboarded her first singles match
See, there you go.
in the WWE.
Now
So
that
that's-
part I did hear about.
Yes.
They jumped 100,000 people in a week because of that. That's great work. That's crazy work.
It's hot.
Yeah,
NXT's
I mean, it's
hot
a
right
hot
now.
commodity, pal. It's a hot commodity. You know what's not? Anything that has an AEW initial. Anything. Collision did its lowest audience for the demo or for the Target demo ever this past Saturday for its Target. It did the lowest, dude.
What was it?
I don't know. It was the lowest. I don't keep up with Collision.
.0001.
Dude, it might have been. I just know it was terrible and it got ripped on by everybody. And then we had Dynamite last night. And I said, I'm going to watch this with a grain of salt.
What turd weighs more, Dynamite or Collision? It's hard to tell.
Bottles, can you do me a favor real quick? Can you
Yes, sir.
find Vince McMahon's comments on Mr. Hulk Hogan real quick?
I do
Because
believe
he
I've
did
saved
have
that, my
comments.
friend. Yes, I
He
believe
did.
I saved
Well, hell,
that.
I could find it. I could probably find it. People were waiting on that one all day. You know what I mean? And that was like a big deal when he did it. Right? Good God, it's trending right now still. I got it right here. From Vince McMahon. The world lost a treasure today. Hulk Hogan was the greatest WWE superstar of all time. He's not wrong. Someone who was loved and admired around the world. He was a trailblazer, the first performer who transitioned from being a wrestling star into a global phenomenon. His grit and unbridled thirst for success were unparalleled and made him the consummate performer. He gave everything he had to the audience, whom he appreciated, respected, and loved. He leaves us with one of his favorite expressions: train, take your vitamins, and say your prayers. Today we pray for him. Well said, Vince.
What can you say about that? I'm surprised. I'm surprised Vince came forward and said something with all the.
I'm
heat
not.
that's on
I'm
Vince,
not.
But
No.
yeah, that was his friend. That was his friend.
And for good or bad, And you want to know why I think they had so much good and bad? Because them sons of bitches were exactly alike. An unparalleled work-driven environment that all they wanted to do was succeed. What can we do to get this over?
Want to be number one. They both wanted to be number one.
Right.
And not take a back seat to anybody else. And not compromise either. Hulk Hogan did not compromise himself or his status on the card or in the business.
No.
That doesn't work for me, brother, was his, everybody jokes about that. But that's called, back in those days, that's called protecting your spot.
Yep. Because
Yeah,
Roddy Piper ate one pin his entire WWF career that I remember, and that was to Bret Hart. I don't recall him ever eating a pin before that because he said, I'm too small to get beat. I'll get DQ'd, but you're not going to pin me.
Right. And he lost in tag team matches. The other guy, Cowboy Bob Orton, took the pin.
Yes.
Randy's father. Yes.
All right. We got to get on to Dynamite. They were in Chicago again. They got one more Dynamite show next week in front of 1,100 people. This show drew a startling 604 or 7,000 people. It's one of those two numbers. I don't think it matters.
Wait a second. How many people?
604 or 7. I can't remember off the top of my head.
607, I believe, thousand people.
Think so. So that means NXT outdrew them by 140. Okay, sorry, 608. It was 608.
Okay.
139,000 people watch NXT over AEW.
Of course.
That's crazy to me because a year ago, do you know what the rating was? It was like 780 something thousand. A year ago, AEW did 780 something thousand. You've lost literally a quarter of your audience in a year, man, because of this ungodly booking.
Every year. It's horrible. All In is all gone. We joked about that title for the show. All In is all gone. We had momentum, they said, with All In. They're righting the ship. Tony is steering. He's holding fast to the course. We're steering towards Providence and good times. Let's restore the feeling, Don.
Do you know what this reminds me of?
What's that?
This reminds me of the Big Lebowski when he's in the back of the limo with Mr. Lebowski. And he says, everything is fine here. Nothing is fucked. Nothing has fucked. The plane has crashed into the goddamn mountain. Careful, there's a beverage here, man.
That's like Jeff Jarrett yelling at the Tony Khan backstage.
What do you mean?
I'm just saying that could be Jeff Jarrett yelling at Tony Khan backstage when Tony says, everything's fine. Everything's great. It's all great. Everything's just great.
No, if it's Jeff Jarrett, he's going, I've seen this shit before. I got to get the hell out of here.
Right.
I've seen this happen. Where's the door? I got to go. This show started off announcing, again, Tony Khan loves a tournament, a World Tag Team Eliminator match. Last time we watched this, I thought the Eliminator matches were a guy that wanted a challenge or girl wanted a challenge for the title. They fought the champion, and if they beat them, then they got a title shot. If they didn't, then they went back to the end of the line for the next title shot, right?
Through his convoluted booking, yes.
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 So if a World Tag Eliminator match is what's going to happen, do they lose and then they get another shot with another? What the hell is this, man?
You're trying too hard to figure this nonsense out. It's all nonsense. I'm telling you, he booked this show drinking a White Claw in the limo, driving down the road. That's how he booked this show. He told so-and-so, do this, do that, put a little mini script together. We're going to do it. We're going to do it.
Oh, they did something. Oh, they did something.
You can't figure out this booking. It makes no sense.
You can't.
It makes no sense.
It starts off with Renee Baguette with Paige. And she asks him, why are you taking the Wheeler Useless match? And he says he's going to punish him. To which then MJF comes running in. Paige calls him a gutless coward. By the way, I didn't hear a word about Happy Gilmore 2 out of MJF all night. That movie debuts tomorrow on Netflix.
On the competition's network, Netflix. He's not going to mention that. He's not going to get. He's such a baby. He's such a spoiled child. He doesn't want to go and promote one of his stars being a big star. He's
got a pretty big role from what I heard. I heard he's got a pretty big role.
He's not on camera that often in the movie. He plays one of his sons. That's all.
Yes, and he apparently has got some real good screen time. Did you not hear what Adam Sandler said about him?
He loves him like he was.
Yeah, he said he's great. The guy is great. He's funny.
Right.
He's got good comedic timing. I love work with MJF. He said the only issue they had was when he went and had a match and he came back and he was bruised up.
Right.
And they had to cover it with makeup.
They said he's got 10 minutes of screen time total in the movie. That's standing in the background, figured into it also, and lines, and the famous in the trailer, he's giving a flying elbow to the hood of his car.
As soon as I saw that, I turned it off. I said, I don't want to see any more. This looks hilarious. I can't wait to watch it. But again, why in the hell would you not talk about one of your biggest stars being in an Adam Sandler movie? This is huge. This is great for your company.
Buddy.
It's a man-child's mindset. It's a man-child's mindset.
Kamille, who's signed to a contract in AEW, whether he likes it or not, was in Queen of the Ring. She played the final boss.
Right. Yeah.
In Queen of the Ring. And not a peep, not a mention of her about her being in that movie. He's a very, very petty man. Everyone says he's a good guy, Tony. He's a very petty man.
So we go back to this action. Wheeler's already in the ring, and you get a FUU to chant going right away. Someone tweeted Paige could have wrestled, but he didn't. He's just doing this bullshit instead. I don't know why I found that funny. Paige could have had a wrestling match. Instead, he's doing this bullshit instead. I don't know why that made me laugh. And then I saw a tweet where somebody said Paige could have wrestled in any territory in any decade and been over. That person probably does a lot of crack cocaine on weekends because Paige would have been looking up at the lights in every decade except maybe the mid-90s when HBK and those little kids took over. And even then, he would have been considered small because HBK was a legitimate 6 foot tall, as was Bret Hart. You're not going to tell me Page, the Cowboy, would have gotten over in Mid-South against those giants, or the WWF with Hulk Hogan walking around the ring. Even the Macho Man was jacked to the gills.
The biggest problem with Page's booking in AEW is they have him talk all the time. Talking's not his strong suit. He should be the strong, silent type. Just keep his mouth shut, and when he says something, it should have some kind of meaning to it. A few words, 2 sentences maybe, and have that be very, very meaningful for the angle that he's in. Don't have him be a chatterbox all the time like he is now. Coming out doing 20-minute promos, speaking Spanish, shit like that. Talking to right out of the chute, he's talking to Moxley's wife backstage. Makes no sense to me, but whatever. How much lice do you think jumped off of Wheeler Yuta?
There was a lot. I was counting it as it jumped. It was bad. It was all
hard.
down the crack of his ass at one point. I saw that shit go down.
That poor bastard.
I was like, dude, you're going to be in there for a while. By the way, there's one thing I can say. At least this match was over with quickly. It didn't go on forever and ever. It was over with relatively quickly. And then Page hits him with the chain and gets ready to throw him over the rope and choke him. But instead, this becomes a father-son moment and says, they're never going to come and help you, and just throws him to the ground and leaves.
And Yuta's bleeding.
Yeah.
Bleeding like a stuck pig. And not even medical came in. And someone said, I think we got to get some help here for Yuta. I think Taz said that. The voice of reason, Taz. I think we better get some help here for Yuta. And they had a close-up on Yuta with the blood trickling down his face and his hand shaking. Like he's got Parkinson's. His hand shaking. Right. What the hell is going on in this?
At one point in the opening of this show, we forgot to talk about Tony Schiavone's rug tried to escape, and you pointed this out on me on Twitter, and I about died. That thing in the back of his head was cockeyed and running to the left. It was trying to get the hell out of Dodge.
It looked like a goddamn meerkat sitting up on his hind legs, just looking. That's what it looked like. Mark K with a 5 spot. It would be interesting to see Page transition to a JBL heel-like character, but that involves storytelling. AEW doesn't do storytelling. Hence,
no, they don't.
Hence the rub, as the old saying goes. That's the crux of the problem. AEW doesn't do storytelling. But if you ask a neckbeard, you ask any random Cheeto sexual on Twitter.
That says they do great.
They do good story. They could the Death Riders is such a great epic tale of storytelling and stuff. And Moxley's just fantastic. Yeah.
Have you seen my juice box?
Tony Storm is just fantastic. The storytelling there and all that.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Here's where it gets completely worse. FTR versus Jet Speed. What have we done to get Jet Speed every week now? What have we done something wrong as fans? Why am I getting these 7th graders on my television every
Why are
week
we being
now?
punished? Why are we being punished?
Right.
I don't know.
It's so
the new
odd
toys.
to me.
The new toys, the new signings, the new toys, the shiny new toys, Mullet Boy and the Jet. Athletes, you had lice in the first match, you got athlete's foot in the second match.
I don't understand.
What do you got next? And they're fighting FTR. Gunn and Bald, the FTR brothers, with Stoke, big Stoke. The crutch is taller than he is.
Right. But what again, if you've seen one Jet Speed match, Bottles, you've seen them all. They're going to do some stupid shit. They're going to jump off of everything. By the way, the white dude almost hurt himself at the beginning of the match where he fell funny on his knee. I thought, I was like, oh shit, he might have blown that bitch out. He got lucky. Thanks again, Mark, for the 5 spot.
Toes McGurk.
Right?
Toes McGurk almost broke his ass.
He almost did that, and you knew who was going to win. It just wouldn't end. It was the match that will not end, man. The match that will not end.
And then who came out?
This is where it gets even worse. Because hold on. Let me see
hold on. It's like the old Don. It's like the old thing. But hold on, there's more.
Yeah,
there's more. There's more shit sliding down the ramp.
Tony Schiavone comes in the ring to interview FTR. Stokely says Cope belongs in prison, And then out comes Colonel Tom Parker and says, go get them, black guys. It was horrible.
It was Cope.
It was horrible.
He made a deal.
Oh, that was Cope? I thought it was Colonel Tom Parker.
It was a homeless man wandered it off.
I thought it was Colonel Tom Parker bringing out the Harlem Heat. Dude, this was the worst. What would you have done if
he should have came out in a white Colonel Sanders suit with the little bowler, the little string tie, and the big fedora, the big hat? That's what he should have done. Edge could have been dressed up like that. Pablo, the real one. Thank you, Pablo, for the 5 spot. Did you see Tony Khan in his home with some creepy children paintings? Oh, what?
I haven't seen that. You're going to have to tell me about that one. But yeah, Edge comes out and suddenly he's got the black faction coming out to do his bidding to beat up the white guys. This shit didn't make any sense, Bottles.
It doesn't make any sense.
No sense.
All of a sudden now we have a feud with FTR, Bald and Gunn versus the Hurt Syndicate. I don't understand. I don't get this at all.
And then we get the patriarchy segment with Nick saying they're going to start their great run this weekend. Whatever the hell that means.
Collision, I would assume. They're going to be on Collision, and they're going to be there. Where's Christian? On vacation? Is he selling the beating he took? Is he shopping for new Dickies? Is he shopping for new turtlenecks? Sleeveless.
I just want to know why Colonel Tom Parker was back on my television, dude. Jesus.
It's all.
By the way, kids, if you don't know what Colonel Tom Parker was in WCW, you need to see that shit.
Southern guy came out.
Here we go. The TK Live was hilarious. We'll have to check that out. Thank you so much, Pablo. Hope you're doing well tonight, brother. Don, you leave Ron Fuller out of this.
The great Ron Fuller. He's still around. He's not in wrestling anymore, but he's still around. I don't know how ambulatory he is. You can see some shoot interviews on YouTube, clips from here and there. Guy was great.
What was great was this next segment where Jon Moxley promo, where he
There's
tries
nothing great
to be,
about that.
Yeah,
There's nothing great
it's so good. This is the greatest thing he's ever done. You be quiet. He was great on this.
Mama Wayne had her cans covered up. That's true. The globes, the bolognas, the bologna loaves were covered up.
The olive loaves were covered, but no.
Yes.
This is where it gets good. The Mox promo, he tried to get poetic and deep, and it came off as ridiculously absurd. The whole thing was ridiculous in every way. None of it connected with the audience. I lost. We all lose. I like to booze. I think I'll get some foosball.
I got a bruise.
It was terrible.
It's horrible. Just horrible. And Marina Shafir capped it off with staring at the camera like she's just
came in. Just on a mean mug the shit out of this. Warrior, I didn't see Maven's video with Buff.
It's on YouTube. Maven Huffman channel on YouTube. They chronicle. Thanks for the $2 there, Warrior. They chronicle Buff sitting in his couch with his girlfriend in his house, and he's talking about what led to the problems with his leg and why he's going to go and get it amputated. And he was fun.
Jeez. Hey, you son of a bitch. I did not see Tits McGee, but he says she was on Collision.
God. She was on Collision.
Lord. Y'all are a mess. Oh, see, now you're getting out of hand. Billy Ocean Spray comes to the ring, and he tells everybody he's hurting. He's going to need some serious operations, but he'll be back by January?
No, he'll be back in a month.
Oh, a month. Okay, I thought it was January.
No, he said he'll be back in 1 month.
I thought it was Forbidden Door, he said.
He'll be back for Forbidden Door.
I thought Forbidden Door was in January.
No, I think Forbidden Door is the next pay-per-view.
No, that's All Out.
All Out. He'll be back.
All Out.
He'll be back for All Out. He's only going to be out a month. Meltzer was even talking about this today on Wrestling Observer Radio. He's got He's got the Hulk Hogan thing, the Steve Austin thing, the Edge thing, where he's got 2 herniated discs in his neck.
Yeah, like you're not coming back in a month.
Not coming back in a month.
Talking about Billy?
Will Ospreay, over the years, because of the style
Apparently
that he wrestles,
Forbidden Door is next. Okay, so thank you for
Forbidden Door is next. Okay, well, thank you for the clarification for a pay-per-view that
You
neither
guys are
one
full
of
of
us care.
shit, man.
That for a pay-per-view that neither the two of us could care less about. Forbidden Door. No one cares about that shit. But
I tell you what, he's definitely doing that dog.
is that the Forbidden Door? He's got the disc compression. The disc have to be what do they remove the disc on, or they put a filler in there? What do they do with the discs?
Usually it depends. If you need to space it, you put a spacer in. But if you got to compress it, that's when you use it. That's why I'm like, what is he getting done? Like, it didn't make any sense.
He talked about Meltzer
He's
said
talking
this.
English gibberish, so I didn't know what the hell he was saying.
Meltzer said,
Let me tell you something, bruv. I've got chili in my pockets and a toe to the can.
He was in his house, and his young son reached over and grabbed his hand, and he's trying to shake it, like, "Hey, Dad, 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 Dad," and he couldn't feel it. He didn't even know what was going on, and he looked down. The kid's like climbing up on him.
I tell you what, after this promo, I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Neither did I. Well, apparently he loses feeling in his limbs, in his feet, in his hands.
I get that feeling.
He's got the
feeling.
He's got something. He's got the bad juju going on. And he's only going to be out a month, Don.
Yeah,
even
bullshit.
Meltzer's eyes bugged out to that. And the way
bullshit.
Meltzer looks now with the plastic surgery, it's hard for those eyes to bug out because he's got eyes like Tits McGee. So it's hard for them to bulge out.
Speaking of eyes bugging out, we're going to pick back up on AEW here in just a minute, because this got my attention. We talked about this, but the news of Hogan's passing sort of took over everything. Variety magazine came out with a humongous article yesterday, heaping huge praise on WWE, saying this partnership is everything they wanted and more. WWE is a top 10 show every week for 6 months. It's working out beautifully. They're taking our ideas and they're giving us better ideas, and we're finding a working relationship that is really positive. You know what I didn't see? I didn't see HBO Max say shit about AEW in response.
I heard Dave Meltzer had a bottle of bourbon and climbed a tower with a super soaker filled with his own urine, just shooting at people. He was so pissed off.
I don't doubt it.
He wanted to be shot off the tower. He was so mad. He's going to end it all.
It's better to be pissed off than pissed on, they always say.
Absolutely, sir.
Dude, and the whole thing is that he started all of this shit earlier that day with the Bryan Danielson article about how WrestleMania moments didn't really mean that much to him and blah, blah, blah. Right? Like, that's where this all came from.
I saw that horseshit.
All of these hit pieces were coming out of nowhere at WWE. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And then that article drops later that day, and it sort of gave the idea of, oh, shit, Dave knew this was coming. He's out here doing cover fire for one Tony Khan, hoping nobody notices this shit.
What's going on is there's, like we've said, there's no momentum after All In. It's garbage. It's all garbage. The last few shows they've done is just crap. This thing they had on last night, I can't even call it a wrestling program. No. They could have ran a test pattern, and it would have gotten more viewers than what they put on last night. It's just horrible. And I like the talent in AEW, but you could buy a Maserati, Don, but if you don't have a driver's license, you've never driven a car before, you're lost. So he doesn't know what to do with the talent that he's got. He's an imbecile. But go ahead.
On to the AEW show. Hart, Tickle, and random third person form a new faction. I don't know what her name is. I don't give a shit, because all three of these girls can go away, and I don't care if I ever see them again. To be quite honest,
Julia Hart, I believe. Julia
Hart, Tickle, and random
The Tickler.
I said Tickle.
You got a car. The Tickler.
Okay, it was Julia Hart, the Tickler, and Rando 3. What are they going to call this? The Tickled Heart Club?
Tickle Time. The Tickle Trio. It's Tickle Time.
Renee Baguette is with Willow, and this is the best promo of the night, where Willow challenges the Tickler. This was the best promo of the night. You heard me correctly, ladies and gentlemen. I do like Willow Nightingale. She has got to get the hell out of this company and get somewhere they can actually use her.
So instead of having this match show up on Dynamite, they're going to put it on Collision.
Right.
Something that people want to see because she did a great promo. They're not going to put it on Dynamite. They're going to have the main event be Claudio Cannoli, and who did he wrestle? I forgot who he wrestled. That's how much it meant to me. Claudio Cannoli was in the main event of Dynamite and wrestling another forgettable individual.
That'll show them to watch us.
Jesus Christ.
That'll
We're not going to
teach
give you
you.
what you want to see. We're going to put this guy on two people you've seen a million times before.
Mark Briscoe, it turns out. There you go.
Mark Briscoe, yes. Mark Briscoe.
So now we get the explanation of why the Hurt Syndicate and Cope were together. Nope. No, we're not getting that either. Instead, MJF comes in and they push MJF against the locker, and suddenly MJF is out of the Hurt Syndicate after what, a month? What the fuck was this? What is this?
And then Shivani, Captain Ferret, said, "I'm surprised it took this long."
Yes.
Something like that he yelled out over top of Excalibur.
Yes, that was Tony Schiavone. Yes, this was so dumb. This was so dumb. It took you 2 months of storylines to build this, and now suddenly it's going to break up, which, by the way, don't tell me that he's going to win a match on his own and then suddenly it's going to be okay, because if that's the direction, that's just as bad of what they're doing right now. This is dumb as shit. This is stupid.
So he's out of the Hurt business now. They just erased it.
I don't know.
All the weeks building up to all this bullshit, and it's just erased now. Because maybe the guys, maybe Lashley and MVP said, we don't want to keep doing this with this guy. Who knows?
I'm
How would you
telling
like
you,
to be
ladies and
Lashley?
gentlemen.
How'd you like to be Lashley and not even sniffing the world title? Not even sniffing the TNT title.
He's getting paid probably $1 million, I'd bet.
Probably, yes.
So yeah, I think I'd be okay with that.
Yes.
If this idiot's going to pay for me to come on once a week, I'll gladly do that for $1 million a year.
And wrestle men that are half my size, of course.
I'll be here next Wednesday, boss.
Right.
We get Starks versus Tony Storm. I think it was Starks. Was her name Starks?
Billy Starks is her name. She's relegated to Ring
Billy!
of Honor.
Billy, don't you lose my number, because you're not anywhere.
She's relegated
and I can't find you. You know, when Phil Collins sang that song, if AEW was around, he'd have never found that bitch.
No, never.
She'd have gone missing for sure.
She's the assistant to Athena, as you like to refer to her, Satchel ass.
That is
Billy Starks looks. I'm not body shaming anybody, and I'm talking about the packaging of Billy Starks. The hair is horrible. The gear's terrible. She walks out with that chicken wing hanging out of her mouth. That veal cutlet she calls a tongue, always hanging out of her mouth. All the promo pictures, it's not flattering whatsoever. Not in any way, shape, or form. Her wrestling's remedial. She looked horrible in the ring last night. Horrible. Don't know what the problem
because
is.
I started looking at my phone. I said, I'm not watching this shit. Nobody else is either.
Same here. And Tony Storm Tony Storm was awful in the match too.
Oh, she's really throwing haymakers now, Taz.
She's holding the girl down, Tony Storm is, and taking her right hand and punching the top of her left hand in a tight shot on TV. That's how great the production work is.
This show was so bad.
Horrible.
Worst piece of shit I've seen in a week. It took them a whole week. It took them a whole week to do one worse. And they got more viewers on this week's show.
Why do you think that is? Billy Starks?
Well, no, that's not it. I know why. Summertime. They want to kick back and unwind.
Is that what it is?
Ooh, summertime. Anyway, Swerve comes out with Don Callis coming out, and this mini goober in a mask comes out, and I don't give a shit who this guy is. I ain't watching this shit.
Hechicero is his name.
Bless you.
He's Gesundheit. He's a CMLL guy that
what
no one cares
his
about.
Name was? Hechicero?
Hechicero, I believe his name is.
Hechicero.
Test tube baby.
Chia.
Chia, Hechichia. Yes.
No,
No one cares about these CMLL guys.
No,
one gives
it's
a shit about
horrible.
these people. No one cares. There's a reason why. When they did that AAA show, WWE did. They did that AAA show, and everybody's talking about Mr. Iguana. Mr. Iguana, the guy with the green face paint, the skinny guy wearing a Riddler suit, and he's got a stuffed iguana he's throwing around the ring. It was. He saw it for the first time. It was novel, and it was funny, and people were laughing at it, and they thought it was kind of cool. But you don't see it all the time. You don't see it all the time. You never see Iguana Boy on TV. Iguana Boy's never on Raw or SmackDown. He's not even on NXT. I'm not talking about a commercial or promo piece for AAA. He's not wrestling on those shows. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that.
Because he's a fucking iguana boy.
He's an iguana boy. He's got to be in his element wrestling other luchadors. They're taking
Donnie, you're
luchadors
out of your element, dude. Listen.
Get underneath the hot lamp. Stay warm. Somebody bring him some mealworms.
Somebody out there is going to get that reference you didn't.
These lone luchadors that he puts out there
are god awful.
They're god awful. Well, I'm not saying there's a place for it.
I'm saying they suck. I don't want to see it. I don't know who you are. Why are you giving Ricochet, the ex-champion, a hard match? I don't need to see this shit, man.
Right.
After this, he gets a beat down by the Don Callis faction, and I change the channel because I don't give a shit. When I came back, we get a Ricochet moment, and I said, fuck that. I'm changing the channel again.
Buddy, you missed a close-up of Callis, who's watching it and commentating, and then all these other faceless guys ran out. Oh, I know. We got a few other guys, bringing a couple other guys out. Like he had no idea that these guys were going to run out. No one told him. He goes, here we got a few. I brought a few other guys out.
Apparently, this is going to happen.
Let me
no
check
one's
my
as
notes.
surprised as me. Trust me.
Callis, I don't know why they put him on commentary every time he comes out. I have no idea. He's great, but why isn't he at ringside, jabbing pens in guys' eyes or poking them in the face or hitting them with a shoe across the head?
Do you want to go, bro?
Right.
It's just so bad.
Conan!
Again, like I said, we get the Ricochet moment. I'm not watching this. And then we get MJF coming out, and he starts talking shit. And then out comes Mark Briscoe, and apparently they're going to fight again, but Mark Briscoe's got a match tonight. And I said, I'm not watching this shit. I changed it back because I knew there was going to be run over, and there was. And there's Moxley and Hangman in the middle of the ring. And I only heard what Hangman said. I don't know if Moxley said anything. And apparently they're going to have a match next week where everybody's barred from ringside but the ref. If that's an option, why don't they do this all the time?
What's the point of this? What's the point?
Why is Moxley still on TV after he lost? That whole faction should have been put to the side and rebooted.
And even diehard AEW fans think that Death Rider Angle sucks. They do. It turned off so many of the fans. That's why they're fully behind Hangman Page right now. But he's going to wrestle Moxley again. It makes no sense to me. Why is MJF being bothered by Mark Briscoe again? Why? He wrestled him. He beat him. It's over with. Just let it go. It's over and done with. Well, they do that in WWE too. They've
not after Mania. They rarely do it after Mania.
Right.
Rarely do they do it after Mania.
After your biggest show of the year, you move on to different programs. You have new feuds starting up. They're doing it with Toni Storm right now, for better or for worse. She's going to face Athena eventually for that belt. So, by the way, did you see during the Billy Starks match? I know you're on your phone. She threw Aubrey Edwards out of the ring.
No.
She grabbed her by the back of her pants and tossed her out of the ring. She just threw Aubrey Edwards out of the ring.
And no one gave a shit around the world.
A woman of that size, Excalibur.
Oh my God, she neighed the whole way.
Nigel McGuinness was there. He wasn't on camera, though. He was passing Ritz crackers to that thing on Tony Schiavone's head. He was feeding it.
Was wreck.
It was horrible. Horrible.
What am I supposed to like about this show?
You can't like anything about it. You can't.
The Willow Nightingale part I liked. I liked the Willow part.
usually I like the Tony Storm segments, but there was no promo. She wrestled a bum. You couldn't find a more indie-looking talent. Pulled out of an indie, go into a VFW hall, where if you stand on the top turnbuckle, your head hits the ceiling. That kind of indie show, like Billy Starks. They pulled her right out of an indie show and put her on the air. Horrible.
I did hear that Tony Khan got a call from the the animal abuse people after that match. Said, you can't be throwing horses around like that, pal.
Well,
this show is terrible. I don't know what else to say about this show. There is one more bit of news I want to talk about.
What's that?
Jimmy Uso's coming to Raw.
What?
Jimmy Uso is rumored to be coming to Raw, and Jay, after SummerSlam, is rumored to be going to SmackDown.
Well, they're freshening things up.
They need to, because the storyline's stale. Every 6 to 8 months, they need to start moving people. There's too much talent in this company to keep them all on one brand or the other. Move these sons of bitches around.
Absolutely.
In my opinion, they should have a semi-draw every 8 months, unless Mania's around the corner. That's just me, though.
Well, if Naomi is the champ of Raw, the women's champ on Raw, she's married to Jimmy, and they try to keep the boyfriends, girlfriends, and wives and husbands together. So Jimmy will go to Raw, and Jay will go to SmackDown. I can see that happening. Very good. I got something about their brother, their little brother, Solo.
Oh, shit.
Someone found a tweet, a Solo Sikoa tweet from September 11th of 2014 when he started in NXT.
Oh, dear God.
And this is a legit
9/11 tweets are never good. 9/11 tweets are never good.
He said, this is from Solo, and I'll put this up on the screen so we can all read it. I think it's very, very interesting. It tells a lot about what goes on, with a superstar. I ain't start wiping my ass until sophomore year of high school, bro. I used to walk them halls cooking a straight grilled shit sandwich between my ass cheeks. Man, I was throwing underwear away every week.
What the fuck, man?
I just found this today. 7:23 p.m., 9/11/2014, Twitter for iPhone. And it's Solo Sikoa, WWE Solo Sikoa, from his Twitter account.
Dude.
I'll read it again for you. I ain't start wiping my ass. What?
Don't read that. Matter of fact, get that shit show off the screen.
It's literally a shit show.
Dude, of all the things you could have found on random, that?
What? Well, pal, you're scrolling through Twitter, and sometimes you find a good nugget. Have you heard about Nia Jax? Have you heard about Nia Jax?
No.
There's Nia Jax right there.
Oh, I showed you this.
At Citi Field.
Yes. She was compared to J-Lo.
J-Lo. They say that they were searching the crowd for a J-Lo lookalike, and there she is, Nia Jax. I don't know, man.
No, go up.
How
Is
far?
that her name? That's not her name. No, I found this because this girl's name on her Twitter handle was Big Fat Bitch. That's how I found it.
This is from Lena Fanine, which is Nia Jax's real name, of course.
I got it. All right, Bottles, I want to thank everybody for watching. I appreciate the support. Please like and subscribe. I know one guy that wiped his ass properly.
Until next week, Gordon Soley saying so long from the Sunshine State.